Good evening and welcome to Monday Night on Bad Dog Comedy TV, live on YouTube and Ayaka's Kitchen. Now, please give it up for your warm-up act, a toast.
Hello! Hello, everybody! How are you doing? Okay. I have another joke, okay? It's a regular thing. We do it every week. I'm a toast. Okay, a joke, okay? Knock, knock. Who's there? A girl who urinates. A girl who urinates. Who? Chickpeas. Chickpeas? You see, like a girl who goes to the bathroom and she pees there. She pees like a chickpea. Like a chickpeas? Chickpea. Oh, it's such a cute word. Chickpeas. Chickpea. Chickpea. Okay, bye-bye. Hi, everybody. Hi. Yeah, okay. Chickpeas, like a girl who goes to the bathroom and pees, and yeah, that's a human phenomena, so nothing to be embarrassed about. But the joke itself might be a little bit embarrassing, but it's okay. Toast is always learning. I'm always learning. Toast is always learning. Okay, hi, I'm Ayaka. Hello, hi again. Okay, another episode of Ayaka's Kitchen, season 4, but there was season 0 as well, so it's like season 5. Oh, who cares? We are here. Okay, so another one. Okay, here, you know the routine. Here's the Bad Dog Comedy TV donation link. Bad Dog is a great place, and they're doing so much for the community as well as so much for the world that anyone and everyone can watch this anywhere in the world with the YouTube channel. So support Bad Dog, and don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to like the video. Subscribe, subscribe, like. Seann, this, I feel like I have so much power right now. Boom. Thank you, Seann. Great. It keeps going. YouTube. Yay, great. Yeah, Bad Dog is a great place. So let's support Bad Dog Comedy TV. And now I am super excited because another episode with a great friend of mine, Vivi, very good friend of mine. And yeah, he's gonna show us a lot of things today, not just talking about things, but he's gonna reveal a family secret recipe. So it's gonna be a secret, secret episode, I guess. It's gonna be a family secret recipe episode. So I'm really excited. So let's welcome him to the virtual stage. Hi, Andy.
Hello, Ayaka. Thank you for having me.
Yay! There's so many people.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. I liked when you said family secret. You did your own air horn sound. I like that air horn sound more than the one Seann played. Sorry, Seann.
Oh, sorry, Seann. I'm gonna replace all the sound effects with pew pew pew.
Uh-oh, he's coming for his job. You're coming for his job.
No, that's a better sound, Seann. Thank you, Seann. Don't trust Andy for this.
What do I know?
You know your family secret, and today you're gonna reveal. So we need all your juice today. All right. So Andy, let's get started. So what is your background?
I'm mixed race. So my dad is Lebanese. He was born in Lebanon in a small town called Tripoli, and he immigrated to Canada in around the 80s and met my mom, who's Canadian. So I have a bit of Canadian in me, a bit of Lebanese in me. And today I think we're going to be talking more about the Lebanese side. Yeah, amazing. And you were born in Montreal, is that right? I was, yeah. So I'm currently in Montreal too. If people haven't triangulated my whereabouts, this is not my kitchen. I wish this was my kitchen because look how it's Almost as nice as your kitchen, Ayaka. You have a very nice kitchen.
that's nicer.
The full screen view of this is my brother's kitchen that he renovated himself. He did a really good job with it. And I'm staying with him in Montreal. And so I kicked him out of his kitchen for a night and told him I'm doing a live web show. So I need to use his kitchen as a front to make people think that I have a nice kitchen, even though I just revealed the secret. So, but we're revealing secrets tonight. So that's the
secret
first
number one.
That's the first family secret. There's only one Assaf brother that owns a nice kitchen, and it's not me.
Oh, but yeah, that is so nice. And he renovated by himself. That's
well, my dad helped him. So my dad loves these kinds of he's been retired for a couple of years and used to work in restaurants. So, the dish we're going to be talking about today, it was like a staple of growing up in these restaurants. And since he's been retired, all he wants to do is he's been pushing me and my other two brothers just to buy houses or find projects, start businesses with them because he's just bored now. And he loves to just go and do things like this. And yeah, a lot of this was his work too. Just his know-how of years of, renovating our house, renovating restaurants when he would open them. So yeah.
Amazing. Your father really knows what you need in the kitchen. So it's a great help that he tells you, okay, you should have this in the kitchen.
For sure. I mean, growing up too, I feel like, not to be too gender normative, but a lot of people usually have moms who really know how to cook. And when growing up, my dad was the big cook in the house. Mm-hmm. So he would when he wasn't working, he worked a lot, but when he would make meals, it would be these extravagant feasts. He'd just insist on making 7 different kinds of salads and shish kebab and this and that. So, or we'd go to the restaurant and of course all that food would be made already. So, yeah.
Oh, I love salad. I don't know. I don't
Salad's
think anyone
underrated.
has picked salad. Yeah. I don't think anyone has picked salad for this show. 7 different kinds of salad. What are they?
I thought about talking. No, so never some Caesar salad. Romaine lettuce. Get out of here. No, he would do so I thought about talking about tabbouleh because tabbouleh was one that we commonly grew up with, which is what's it called? I forget the leaf, but it's a very flaky kind of herb that you cut up. And then you mix it with tomatoes and lemon and onion, and it's very fragrant and aromatic. And then another popular one is fattoush, which is made with peppers and some lettuce, some romaine lettuce, and then a bunch of other things that also is a super good summer salad. So yeah, there's a tons of different Middle Eastern culture is filled with just using all sorts of cool vegetables and really just delicious ways. If you go to somewhere like Alibaba, they have the 4 different kinds of salads there. All of those some are made with chickpeas, some are they make them with everything, which is great.
Yeah, amazing. So there are lots of fresh vegetable involved in Lebanese.
Oh yeah. People always go on now. It's a fad to do the Mediterranean diet, which is just eating a cucumber once in a while for people. No, but it's a very light meal. It's not super heavy in bread. It's not super heavy in pastas or cheese. It's mostly just very low fat meat, vegetables, dips and sides. It's very sides based. I feel Middle Eastern culture, we love our sides. We just love having little dishes everywhere. So it's yeah.
I like that. And Mediterranean for me, sides just reminds me of Spanish tapas, and it's maybe similar concept, but different spices, but probably still similar Mediterranean or that kind of climate, vegetation, I guess. Maybe. Yeah,
I think it's the. I think where it comes from a lot is my dad, who's Muslim, grew up in a household that when you do. I just did Ramadan for the first time this year. And one of the things you do during Ramadan is you have, you don't eat throughout the whole day. And then you have a big meal with your whole family or in the Middle East, they'll do it with a whole community. The mosque will host big meals, big feasts. And a lot of it is about sharing. So that's just kind of built into how the meals were designed, how they were made. So I feel tapas just generally, it's like tapas, except they're not tiny plates. Whenever I first did tapas, I was this is not enough food. This is half a pork chop. What is this? How am I supposed to share this? I don't. So but it is similar in the sense of like, yeah, you have a lot of different sides, lots of variety, and it's just a feast. Like you'll just have mountains of food at like family gatherings whenever I go see family in Europe or yeah.
Wow, that's so cool. So bigger tapas.
Bigger tapas. Tapas too, bigger and better.
Bigger and better. Awesome. So yeah, so tell us what you're going to introduce us today.
Yeah, so one of the first things I kind of learned how to make in the kitchen with my dad, you know, and is very much a staple across Middle Eastern culture, is hummus. It's very popular these days. Look at that. So this is hummus topped with some shawarma, right? Chicken shawarma, that one, yeah, and some falafel. So yeah, those look so good. And so now it's become a new kind of trendy thing to make like a hummus bowl, which, you know, traditionally we would just serve them in big platters and share them. But now, you know, it's great that they're kind of catching on as like this meal where you have a whole bowl of hummus with some toppings on it. That looks so good. I'm getting hungry now. But yeah, you use it in sandwiches. You use it. My mom would use it at like everything growing up. It would be like a condiment for like, you know, typically you would use like mayo. She would use hummus. It's not very good in everything. Like I remember being embarrassed when I was a kid and I'd have bologna sandwiches with hummus on them. And it wasn't very good. Don't do that. That's a gross combination. But my mom was just insistent on always doing that. And that made me feel a bit like a weird kid in elementary school with this like weird ethnic condiment. They're like, what is that oozing stuff on your sandwich? But now I know how to make it, and it's all like, it's vegan, it's vegetarian, so it's very trendy. People love it. They're always buying the tubs and bringing them to picnics and stuff. So now when you like whip out fresh hummus that you made yourself, it's super impressive, and it's delicious. It's so good. Like, and people are surprised when they first make it of how easy it is to make. Like, it seems like something that would require a lot of ingredients, but there's like really like 5 ingredients in it. It's super simple.
Okay, are we getting into the family secret recipe now?
Do you want to hear the family secret?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So hummus, the basic component of it. So yeah, I made some right here. I have some right here. I don't know if you can see it. Little bowl here.
Homemade.
My light's kind of taking it out. I kind of screwed mine up a little bit. It's a little watery, but it still tastes really good. So the basics of it, of course, is chickpeas or garbanzo beans, which some people call it, but I grew up calling it chickpeas, and tahini. Tahini is like a sesame paste, sort of like a ground. Yeah, just like it kind of looks like hummus, but it's like that mixed with the chickpeas is what makes the consistency. And then you have fresh garlic, lemon, salt and pepper, and then a bit of cumin to taste. A lot of people put oil in the hummus, and so here's the first step of the family secret, Ayaka, is you don't put oil in the hummus, okay? You put oil on afterwards, okay? Because
like on top?
Yeah, so I actually have this right here. Typically when you serve it, it's kind of hard to see. You take like a spoon here. Oh, this one's all full of hummus, and you like swirl the top, kind of. So you kind of make like a bit of like a moat, kind of shape. And then in that little moat, you kind of add just a bit of oil. And then if you have like fresh herbs or salt or toppings and stuff, that's where like that kind of like sinks into. And it's super good. It's just so good. But oil before kind of makes it very like oily, I find. It kind of throws off.
Okay. Oh, Sean's taking notes.
Look at that.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
It's all there. Yeah, so it's super simple. It's super simple. You throw it on.
What kind of oil? Is that olive oil?
Olive oil. Yeah, this is olive oil. You could use avocado oil. I think would be pretty good on it. Any like good vegetable, maybe not vegetable oil, but any good like kind of, I feel like cashew oil might be pretty good on it. My dad loves putting cashews on top of like the traditional thing is doing like a bed of hummus, some ground beef with pine nuts, kind of toasted up together. And then on top, you might throw some nuts like cashews or almonds. You could throw like, all sorts of like spices like sumac. Sometimes I put sumac in the hummus too, which is like a big spice. Sumac is like, I don't have any here because my brother doesn't cook as well as me. But it's like a red, super red kind of, it's not like a chili. It's more of just like, it's got a very like curry kind of flavor profile, but it's not really curry. It's kind of hard to explain. It's very smoky. So it kind of makes it like cumin makes it more like earthy, and then sumac kind of makes it a bit more smoky and like.
Is that pimienton? Is the same thing? Pimienton.
Which one?
Pimienton.
I don't know that one. Maybe. Maybe there's different names for it. Yeah.
I wonder. And again, like I'm going back to the Mediterranean thing. Pimienton is used a lot in Spanish food, and then now olive oil. You mentioned like lots of like Mediterranean things. It's like
I feel like there's
like
a big
so
crossover, maybe in like I don't know, like during the trade routes. I don't know that was the big thing, is to get to the Middle East, to get to India, to get all the spices and goods, and those were like I think maybe influenced a lot of that cuisine. Like paella, my dad used to make a lot of, because he had a Mexican restaurant briefly that he just fell in love with, like South American cuisine. He went on vacation one year with my mom and was like, I'm gonna do that now. So he kind of just started a Mexican restaurant, and then would make all sorts of Latin American dishes, and get, of course, Latin American cooks to kind of teach him the trade of how to make really good fajitas. It's like really they didn't have good Mexican food really in Montreal, and they still kind of don't. Toronto has way better food than Montreal. This is going to be a hot take. Hot take number 1. Hit the hot take air horn, Sean. When I moved to Toronto, I found like, there it is. Yes, that's a good hot take.
Dun, dun, dun.
When I moved to Toronto, the food, like the average food you get, like like fast eat, but even like casual dining, I found was just way better.
Really?
There are some really nice restaurants here that everyone loves in Montreal, but my experience has been like, wow, there's just more restaurants too in Toronto, right? It's just so much bigger.
Okay.
So even though we have like a foodie culture, Toronto is like more diverse and has a lot more to choose from.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Oh, I feel good about that. I always thought Montreal people like the foodie.
We're snobby about it, but it doesn't mean the food's better. we can yell all day about how smoked meat is some sort of delicacy, but it's just sweaty beef in a sandwich. Come on. No, smoked meat's better. But yeah, there's a couple things you can get in Montreal that are really good, and like Middle Eastern food, Italian food, like Greek food. The cultures that immigrated here, essentially, there's pretty good food. But in Toronto, I've just had so much good stuff, including Middle Eastern food. I was kind of blown away when I got there. Like the average shawarma I get would be so delicious.
Yeah. Oh, I feel so fortunate, especially like with this show. There are so many like unique dishes that the guests want to introduce, and I'm like, where do I find this? And then at the end, there's always something in Toronto that offers that. So yeah, Toronto is so diverse, more than I thought by like just doing this show, finding that out. It's so interesting. And one show I had Iraqi guest, who was born in Iraq. And it was so funny. He had another dish that he introduced, but when his mom cooked part of it, so he delivered it to me, and he just said to me, "You have hummus in your fridge, right?" So I didn't bring you hummus, and I'm like, "I don't have hummus regularly," but he just like assumed like I had hummus, and then so I can dip it or something. Is it a common thing in like Middle East? Just like have hummus always, just like I have a ketchup and mayonnaise.
Yeah, so like my mom used it more like a sandwich condiment, but like in Middle Eastern households, like whenever I go to visit my aunt or uncle, there's always fresh made hummus, because it's just like the side that it's the dip for everything. Like you can dip vegetables, you can dip pita bread. I'm sure like those bowls probably came with like some nice pita bread. You can put it in, like you dip, there's like these like meat dumplings called the kibbe. I actually tried them to make them for the first time. You like deep fry them; they're really good. It's like a kind of like a crunchy outside and ground beef inside, and that goes super good with hummus. So it really is kind of the unsung sidekick to every kind of main dish. Nice. And again, like when I first learned how to make it, and then when I kind of moved out and started cooking for myself more often, I was like, it's so versatile, hummus. Like you can use it. You'd be surprised with how many things it goes really well with. Sushi, I don't know how it's going to taste, but
it's happening.
I'm very
It's
excited to
happening.
see how this is coming together. Just look at
It's
this.
happening.
Oh wow.
How much
This
is it
is-
happening?
This is great. I love this. I feel like with that shawarma looks really good and that falafel looks really good. So that maybe
Yeah, I'm
mixed
gonna
with the flavors will work really well.
Yes, I'm gonna put everything in here.
Look at
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
and so do you want to know the final secret to really good hummus?
Yes, please.
Okay. So you throw all that stuff in the blender. You know, you got your chickpeas, your tahini, you know, your garlic, your lemon. Did I say lemon last time? Yeah, lemon. Your salt, pepper, cumin. Great. All that's in there. You blend it all up. It's all smooth. But you'll see as it blends it up, you need to add water because it's going to be super thick. So the trick actually is to take cold water and put ice in it. So you have like super cold water, and on your blender, your food processor, as it's spinning, you add just a bit at a time. So it actually like cools the hummus while it spins and processes it, and it adds water to it. So it comes out super fluffy. And that's kind of the part I screwed up. So this one's not super fluffy. It's a little bit more like goopy, but it's still like way better than what you get at the store. Like that's the other thing too, is that people get the home, they get the store-bought stuff all the time. And they like, when they have fresh hummus, they're like, oh, this tastes completely different. Like it really is a step up when you actually make it fresh, because you're tasting so many more of those like different notes that kind of get lost when it's just like the tub stuff, you know, but it's still good to have it like a picnic and stuff. But yeah. That's the big secret.
Cold water, like ice cubes. So hummus should not be warm at all. Like
So
it shouldn't be hot.
if you serve it as like a side, I like mine cold mostly, but some people like served hot and with like when you put it with ground beef, like so the stuff you have there. I don't know if it came super hot, the hummus itself. I'm sure the toppings are really hot, but some people like heating up the hummus a bit with if you have like hot toppings on top, or you'll have really, you know, warm bread that you'll eat it with. But typically I like it like super cold, like out of the fridge, super fresh tasting. Yeah, that's what makes it super smooth, I find, and like the right consistency. That and like when you take the chickpeas is the other step I kind of forgot. I'm so bad at explaining recipes. I'm not going to be the next Jamie Oliver, but yeah. So when you take chickpeas, I saved a couple to show. Like there's these little, like these are just canned chickpeas. You don't even have to make them from scratch. But there's these like little skins that you kind of come off of them, right?
Yeah.
And if you kind of go, it's a little tedious, but if you can get like half of the chickpeas without skins and throw the skins away, you'll also get super great consistency when you're blending it. It's like,
so you don't want to get rid of all the skins. You want to keep.
you can leave some, yeah. But really, it's like that's the other secret to like not have any, to have just like a smooth texture rather than a little bit like it's chunkier.
Yeah.
But
wow.
that's it. It's super simple. Like it literally, like I feel like you could teach a 5-year-old to do it, no problem. It's get them to use the blender, put their hand in, let's see what happens. No.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Extra flavor. Wow, I feel like I wasted so much money then, like having like those like $9 supermarket selling hummus.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, the typical like tub is like $5-6 now. And when I see that, it's crazy because this is like, I had some for lunch and my brother had some too. So this is like a third of what I made from one can. And if you do it with 2 cans, like I did it for like, for Ramadan, I made like a big meal for my roommates and I had like a tub this big, and chickpeas are like 99 cents, you know, tahiti's like a couple dollars. See, the whole tub like that, you're paying basically for the same price you get like a little tub like that. So I couldn't recommend trying to make it yourself. You make it at the beginning of the week and you should have it in the fridge. It's such a like great thing to, you know, get out and have a quick lunch with or a snack. It's super versatile.
Yeah, that's awesome. Tell me more about Ramadan. So you are not supposed to eat when sun is up. Is that correct?
Yeah, this was my first year doing it. So I grew up pretty, like my mom was more, she's Protestant. She kind of would bring us to church and stuff. I wasn't super religious, but my dad would never talk about Islam. Like I'd ask him about it because I'd be curious. He'd be like, "Oh, it's complicated. I don't have time to school you on the intricacies of the different sects and what it means, you know, Sunni versus Shia and stuff." Yeah. So he grew up and kind of when he left, just became very agnostic. So recently, I had a friend who does Ramadan, who observes Ramadan, and who was like, "You should try it. Have you ever tried it?" I was like, "No, that sounds terrifying to not be able to eat for the whole day." But then I kind of like read up on it and I was curious, but I was like, oh, maybe I could do it. And then, read up on like the significance of it. So it's kind of like, Ramadan is the holy month of Ramadan. It lasts a month. It's based off of the lunar calendar. So it changes every year. And basically you can't eat during the day while the sun is up. So you wake up super early in the morning at like 4:30 a.m. at the beginning of the month, and then closer to like 5 something. And you have to eat before the sun comes up and say a prayer. And then you go back to sleep and then wake up. You can't eat, but this is the trickiest part. You can't drink either. You can't drink any water. So you're literally, you can't drink any water. Yeah. Yeah. You're supposed to just sacrifice, because it's supposed to give you the sense of what it's like to be less fortunate, like to really empathize with someone who has less, because you're literally starving and you're super thirsty for the day. And then up until the sun sets around like 7, 8 p.m., and it was in this deep summer. Now it's moving back, thank God, because it's like, you don't have to wait as long. But then you can break your fast. Traditionally, you're supposed to break it with some water and a date. Like dates, the fruit. Yeah.
Yeah, so much nutrition in.
They're super good.
Yeah.
So I was just eating a ton of dates all Ramadan, but it was tough the first 10 days. But then after you get used to it, you kind of like. And I cheated a couple of days. I'm not a perfect Muslim. I'm supposed to make up the days, and I'll get on that. But it's just like once you get through that kind of initial 10 days, you're like, oh, this is doable. It can get tough if you have to do like sports or if you do school or whatever, but it was super, just like, I don't want to say it's like, it was spiritually mind changing, but it was very cool to like reconnect to this part of my, my family culture that I never really engaged with before.
Yeah, that's super cool. So people in like actual Middle East living there, they also don't have water. I'm concerned. It's so hot there.
It's super difficult. Like there's all sorts of tricks of like how to stay cool because your body temperature will rise, and like people who are very I don't want to say hardcore about it, but like who are very like strict about not getting a drop of water will have different techniques of like you can't even put water in your mouth. Like it can get really difficult. But the way my dad explained it is that when you're in Lebanon, for example, or most Muslim countries, like Muslim predominant countries, the Muslim neighborhoods will have, it's kind of set up around Ramadan for that month. So there's bells that will ring that remind you when prayer will happen. And there's like, these big feasts that are like community based. So they're kind of like a month of partying with your neighbors and stuff. And businesses will close at certain hours to observe all the different, you're supposed to do multiple prayers throughout the day and when give people a break from like, so they don't pass out in the heat from not eating and drinking. It's a really, really cool holiday. And then it leads up to Eid, which is one of the last days of the month, which is kind of like, I don't know, I'd equate it to like the Muslim Christmas. It's not exactly the same, but it's one of those like big, party to end all parties. But yeah. That's my new goal too, is to go back to Lebanon or to be even in any Muslim country when Ramadan's happening, because it just sounds like a blast. Like there's just music and people are out and they're like all congregating. It's about like, thinking about being grateful for what you have, giving to charity, like, doing acts of good. It's just a beautiful holiday.
Wow. I did not know it was like that much of a celebration. I thought it was more like, oh, I'm hungry, but I cannot, like more suffering. It's opposite.
No, that's what I thought too going in, because you think it's like super, but I feel like that's way more Catholic and Protestant. Like it really is about, for a lot of people, I don't know, it feels like an excuse to party, but at least like what I hear about, like the parties and the feasts that you'd have. But of course, there is a religious and spiritual element to it that has, it's a healthy way, like I find, of approaching like how you come to terms with the fact that there is vast inequality in the world, and you have to reflect on that and like try to, it's a very like better yourself for the next year and try to remind yourself to give to the community, and you're around people, and hopefully you can do more to help those in need.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So is it very like community based, like family strong, Thai strong communities?
Yeah.
Thai strong kind of culture?
Yeah, I mean, in my family, we never did Ramadan, never even talked about it. I didn't even know what it was until I was a teenager, and I had Muslim friends who would do it. And I'm like, what's that? They're like, you're Middle Eastern. What is going on? Yeah, it's very based around the family and based around the mosque. Like the mosque will also like do big feasts and stuff out of there, and give to like invite those in the neighborhood who might be homeless or who might just be you're supposed to give a certain amount to if you can to like a family in one of these Muslim countries that's that might be a refugee or might have their house that just got destroyed in some sort of conflict. So that's like the core part of it, is kind of like, again, reaching out and celebrating with people and kind of connecting with your community, which of course I didn't really do because I'm in Toronto during a pandemic, and I don't really know. I have 2 Muslim friends in Toronto, but my friends are saying like in a normal year, you would come out to the mosque and meet a bunch of people and take part in the celebrations, and that's the like. They were talking about it like it was like I talked about Christmas as a kid, like this super fun time of the year.
Yeah, that's so nice. So you kind of connected your root during pandemic and experienced it.
I needed something to do, Ayaka. I've been so bored.
You're playing all the games.
My roommate's like, oh, wow, you're so bored you became religious? I'm like, I guess. I don't know. What else are we supposed to do? But make hummus and hang out. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. There's a deep reasons.
Yeah.
For it. Yeah. Okay. So as we are talking, I made it.
I'm so curious of the. Oh, this looks great.
Yeah.
Look at that.
This is
that looks really good, actually. I was super
sweet.
Skeptical that the hummus and the rice might not work well together because it's very like. Probably it's mush meets mush, but then you throw the chicken and the falafel in there. Now we're talking. I do love those.
But I'm so
curious what it tastes like.
I haven't tried it yet, so we'll see. But yeah,
family secret roll. This is awesome. This is gonna be the new trend.
So I'm gonna try.
I got a business idea from my dad now. Okay, I want to tell me how this tastes.
Okay. Let's see. I'll try it. So, Andy, I usually ask Sean to put drum rolls because I don't want people to like hear me chewing and stuff. But if you have any song you want to sing, I'll be happy.
Just sing any song.
Yeah, any Lebanese song or something to do with Ramadan.
Arabic music has a totally different key than we do. Like I wouldn't even know where to start to sing a Lebanese song, but I could maybe find something on the Spotify or something. Play on top. I don't know if we'll get hit with copyright.
I don't know how it works, Sean. What do you think?
There it is.
Okay.
You got the drums. There's your drum roll right there.
Okay, that's really cool. Okay, so I'm gonna try one.
Okay, go for it.
I'm excited. Okay, so I'm gonna try. So I'm gonna add a little bit of my background, which is a Japanese background with a little bit of soy sauce.
Yes.
So it's like more of a fusion. Okay, itadakimasu.
We also say in Arabic Basmallah, which means thank you God. So Basmallah.
Basmallah.
That looks good. How is it? Is it? We have something here, Ayaka. Are we starting a restaurant now? Is this happening? Lebanese people?
I'm shocked.
There's the name. Lebanese.
This is so good.
Is it really?
What? How?
That's awesome. I'm so jealous. I wish I was there to try some. Do you have wasabi too? Would you put wasabi on that, or do you think it's better unspicy?
I have wasabi in my fridge.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
No, because the shawarma is probably a bit spicy already, right? Or it just has a lot of spice in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's not like hot, but it's very rich in taste.
Yeah.
I have to try the hummus and falafel and shawarma myself.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm shocked.
I got some here too. I'm gonna eat a little cucumber and some hummus. Cheers.
Cheers. What do you say? Thank you, God.
Besmala.
Besmala.
What do you think?
Good hummus.
What do you think of it as just as a meal? Because this is the trendy new thing, is just having a bowl of hummus with some stuff on top. Like, I'm not huge on just like eating a lot of hummus in one sitting. I think of it more as like a dip or like a side. But what do you think of it?
You know what? I need rice with it. Now I know.
Now
did
you know
not
the secret. Now you know what you're missing out on.
But it's sushi rice. It's not the regular rice. It's sushi rice. Sushi rice is mixed with vinegar, sugar, and salt, and they go so well together. I had no idea. I'm seriously like impressed.
It probably cuts it because it's very like hummus is very It tastes almost like very not bready, but like thick and savory, and then the rice probably with that vinegar probably cuts it really nicely. And then the chicken and the falafel. I have one more thing I want to show you, Ayaka, before we go.
Yes, please.
So speaking of falafel, which was another one of my favorites growing up, would be falafel sandwiches. My dad when he started his restaurant, he had kind of like a chain of them. When like he opened one on my birthday, which is a story he loves to tell. When I was born, the day of, he was opening one. And so he's like, you were a good omen, because that was my most successful restaurant. And so he had like a chain of these kind of like Alibaba in Toronto, or here, like we have Bustan's now, which is very popular. But it was called Mr. Falafel. And I still have some merch from the original restaurant from the 90s. And I loved how he got this little cute genie guy. I find that's like a thing with immigrant parents, where when they open like a restaurant, they go like, what will Westerners identify with my food? And so my dad's like, let's go Aladdin. Why not? Let's go with a genie serving you some stars or something. I don't know. Some great graphic design going on here.
So cute. Wow.
Yeah. Anyways,
that's the color of the national flag of Lebanon.
That too, yeah. Little secret design. It's like the FedEx logo, throwing the colors of the flag. Yeah.
That's good. Oh, so what did he come up with a name? Or your name and this name at around the same time? Like, I guess so. So
me and my brothers, we all have Arabic names too. So mine's actually Adel, which they then
my mom and my dad.
Yeah, it's like Adele the singer, and then my mom and dad kind of were like, okay, what's the English version of that? Andy, and then like my brother Shane is Isham, and then my oldest brother Seb is a little different. It's Omar, which means crab, but they were just like, Seb, I guess. Sebastian. Yes. But so we all have our Arabic names.
You did tell me about Adele, but I did not know how to pronounce it. How do you pronounce it?
Adel.
Adel.
Yeah. That was my uncle's name, my dad's oldest brother. So named
wow, Adel. Why don't you use it?
I switched over to Andy from Andrew. Like, my whole family calls me Andrew. So really? I don't see why I couldn't just go Adel. Sound off in the comments. If I should do a Twitter poll, and if I get enough votes, I'll get it legally changed. It's already legally changed. It is my name, so it's on my driver's license. Wow,
that's so cool. Adel. Yeah.
Sean's into it. That's the word. I met a couple idols. It's a cool name for sure, and it's definitely unmistakably like people hear my last name Assaf, and they're like, "Oh, that's something, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's Lebanese." Adil is like unmistakably Middle Eastern. So yeah,
maybe very very cool. Well, Adil, this was very.
Ooh, it feels good being called out. I think I like it. Okay.
Oh, good. This was surprisingly delicious episode. I'm seriously pleased, and I have to dip my face into those hummus and
hummus. Just live with it on you. I'm so happy to hear that. I'm happy. I'm happy that it worked in the sushi, because if it would have just been like just terrible, I mean, that would have been fun too. But I'm very happy that it turned out good. Thank you so much for having me, Ayaka.
Thank you. Yeah, especially you warned me many times. You're like, oh, hummus? I don't know about that. You warned me, so I was a little bit worried. But surprisingly, it's really good. So
okay.
Yeah.
Well, we gotta get together sometime and remake it again. I gotta try this.
For sure. And then tell your dad the new business idea. He's too bored being retired. Get back
Mike Assaf is going to be so stoked to hear that we are taking his food and just putting it in totally different foods. Yeah,
it's representing Toronto, diverse culture, lots of different culture.
Do you mind if I plug something, Ayaka? It's not really
Please
a plug,
do.
I did. If anyone who's watched this likes these stories about my dad, I actually made a video over the pandemic starring him. It's kind of like a little documentary where I bought him a tracksuit for Christmas. And it's just a fun little video I made of just me hanging out with my dad on FaceTime. If you want to see that, it's on Vimeo. Just look up, I gave my dad a tracksuit under my name, and you'll find it. My dad is a real character and really very fun to watch. So I just kind of let him talk, and it turned into this very fun video. So there it is. Thanks, Sean. So check that out if you want to see more of my dad, just dad vibes, Middle Eastern dad vibes.
I love that. I did not know you did that. That's so cool.
Yeah. Again, I've been so bored. I can't wait till we can perform again, because it's just been like I getting into religion and making videos with my dad. So I need help.
You made the most out of the pandemic. That's awesome. Yeah. Okay, so this has been Ayaka's Kitchen with Andy Adel. Adel. And here's the donation link for Bad Dog again. Bad Dog is an awesome place. Support Bad Dog. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Boom, boom, boom. And thank you, Sean. Sean's always the one running this show. So thank you so much, Sean. And Andy, I hope to see you in person very soon.
Yeah.
But for now, this was delicious. So thank you. Is there like thank you or bye-bye that I can say?
Shukran is thank you.
Yeah,
shukran. Okay. Thank you so much, Ayaka, for having me. This is so much fun.
Thank you, shukran, Andy.
Shukran. Bye.